Welcome back to this special edition of NCBA's Cattlemen to Cattlemen as we get insights into the value of forage in cattle operations. Dave, I know one of the things you're most proud of is Dow's long-standing sponsorship of the Environmental Stewardship Award program. Why is that so important to your organization?
Well, I tell you what, we really believe that these fellas right here and many of their cohorts are the original stewards of the land, and they do such a fantastic job of making sure that our natural resources on their private enterprises are conserved. We really feel it's important that the rest of the nation understands that story, and we want to help get that story out to the general public, and that's why we sponsor the ESAP Award.
And that's a great way to do it. And Sims, I want to congratulate you and your family once again. That was an exciting award. What does that mean to your family?
Oh, we're so honored. We can't even begin to pay tribute to everybody for recognizing us for this, and to put our name up there with some of the greats that are members of this league of elite ranchers, and it's just amazing, and we're truly blessed.
I know your dad has talked an awful lot about managing a ranch and drought conditions and the harsh environment that you've dealt with for 5 generations down there. What are some of the key lessons you've learned?
The most important thing I've learned over the years is to always pay attention to the rangeland, to be looking at it and looking at what's growing on the ground. I can remember a lot of days riding around with my dad, either walking through the pasture or riding horseback, and not down the trails or the roads, but along in the pasture, looking at the grass, looking to see what's growing, what forbs, what browse, and seeing what the livestock are eating and what they're leaving behind, and then knowing whether or not what you're doing is working or not and adapting to that situation. That, and always be preparing for the next drought.
Very good. Well, it's quite an honor for you to have won that award, and I want to ask you a few more questions in just a minute, but first, let's take a short trip to the Frank and Sims Price Ranch in West Texas.
Just after sunup, Frank and Sims Price are working side by side to move their cows. The father and son represent the 4th and 5th generations on the Price Ranch. That includes nearly 70,000 acres spread across 4 counties in West Texas.
We're a family ranching operation, goes back to 1876 when my great-grandfather first came to this country. You know, it's rare that families these days get to continue an operation and have the opportunity to work with their son.
Knowing the fact that it has been passed down for so many generations, it just gives you that extra drive to always see things through, and through the hard times and the droughts and everything else. Gives you a sense that you have to keep going.
Today, the Price family gains income from hunting leases, a purebred sheep herd, and their primary focus, a cow-calf operation with 11 grazing units, managing each one so there is rarely a need for supplemental feeding of the cows.
You take feed out of the picture and you've reduced your labor, you've reduced your equipment costs, fuel costs, and we're able, with our grazing program for the cattle, to respond very well to that. We adjusted our calving season to where we're working with nature better.
Drought and wildfire have devastated much of the Price Ranch in recent years. One key to sustaining the business is their single herd grazing program that results in many pastures getting 120 days or more of rest. Frank creates detailed grazing charts to guide the movement of the cattle.
He has really figured out what works for our operation as far as moving cattle, when to move them, and being able to read the land and tell if what we're doing is right or if what we're doing is wrong, and how to adjust to that, if we need to destock, if we need to move faster.
He is one of the best grazing managers that I know of, and in terms of how he rotates, he thinks about where they're going to go next, and he puts it into the whole package.
Another key to improving grasses on the Price Ranch is brush control, often done in partnership with NRCS, using prescribed burns and mechanical and chemical methods of removing mesquite and other invasive species.
Without the NRCS, we would be covered up in brush. The NRCS helps make this a profitable business in the fact that they help us with the brush work.
They understand the value of grass. They understand that their sustainability is in grass production, not necessarily in livestock production. I think they view livestock as a tool. It's an important tool to them, but a tool to harvest the forage that they're growing.
For Frank and Sims, the work of caring for their land is never ending, with a focus on following their budget and business plan. The future of Price Ranch looks secure. Frank and Sims are working together to build on the family legacy of stewardship.
I'm proud of the fact that my father, a fourth-generation rancher, has stuck through the hard times. He's taught me to stick through the hard times. I'm continuing to learn, and without his perseverance and dedication to this ranch, we wouldn't be here, and I wouldn't be allowed to be coming back here to work on it. And I pray that I can carry that on to my children someday.
It's a moving target, but working with that land and trying to make it better for the next generation, that should be our goal in life.
Sims, you and your family should be really proud of that. That's a great example of stewardship. And Dave, I'd ask you, I mean, you see a lot of these environmental winners. What would you consider to be some of the common themes or some of the best practices you see being applied to be good stewards of the resources we've been granted?
Well, I look at it in two simple words: being active and aggressive. A lot of these folks are very active in getting out there and assessing what's going on the ranch constantly, day by day. They're not doing this from an armchair, you know, in the house or on the front porch. So that's very important. And then most of the time, when they see problems that crop up, they're very aggressive in dealing with those situations, whether it be the need for additional cross-fencing, whether it be the need for water development. They actively and aggressively get out and solve those issues. And that's one of the big trademarks.
Bill, what might you add?
Well, you know, I think it's a lot what Sims talked about. You need to spend a lot of time in your pastures. You need to spend a lot of time going over the acreage, looking at what weeds have cropped up, which ones are you containing effectively. And also importantly, you have to be vigilant, and you have to be persistent at addressing the problem. And I do think it does become, you develop a passion for creating, what's the vision for your operation.
Mm-hmm. And Pat, you get on a lot of operations. What are some of the key themes you've seen to be successful?
I think it's like what Bill was just saying, having a vision. You're always managing towards a goal. You're not just solving or trying to address a particular problem, but you've got a vision in mind. Where are we going with this? And I think the legacy that both of these gentlemen talk about in their operations is just a testament to how these ranchers work on their property.
Well, you certainly create both a vision and I think a challenge for all of us to be good stewards. You can nominate yourself or a fellow producer for the Environmental Stewardship Award. To get more information, just visit the website environmentalstewardship.org. And to find out more about weed control and forage management, another great website is togetherwegrowgrass.com.